Hey, it's Lynn Coffey, and I am a website strategist for those that sell a service. So, like trainers, coaches, consultants, professionals, therapists, that sort of thing. So, if you have a website, I can help you get more leads from it. So, I wanted to talk today about your My Story page or your About page, because this is a page that well, quite frankly, people kind of stink at writing. You see, the About page, I was surprised on my personal website, turned out to be one of the highest converting pages of the entire site. And I had no idea. So it was a really cool thing to stumble upon. And when I started to dig into it a little bit more, it kind of a light bulb went off. So this was one of those things that just through experimentation, I found works, which is always a nice thing when it happens. I often find things that don't work through experimentation, but every now and again you get a little golden nugget like this one. So currently, most people have an About page that sounds kind of like a resume, right? So let's say I'll give you an example using myself. Most people have a page that sounds like this. Lynn Coffey started her company 10 years ago with a mission to provide the utmost in customer care, and was formed as an S partnership, and in X year received this certification, and blah, 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 blah. It's bland. It's boring. Like, who cares? Nobody. So my About page, and this was the happy little accident I stumbled upon, my page, I wrote totally different. I wrote it kind of as a story. I used first person language. I used images. Some of them were pretty old, so I had to scan them in. They're like old Polaroids. So between using a mix of headlines and subheadlines and images and first-person language, I told the story, this is important, that was of interest to my website visitors. So people who come to my website, they're interested in learning about how to improve their website. How do I get more people to engage with me and my business? How do I get more people to contact me? How do I get more people to opt in for something from the website? And so they are coming to get information about that. So on my About page, which I call the My Story page, I talk about my personal experience in using websites to generate a response from people. You see, I didn't always know what to do on my website. In fact, I was in the position that a lot of you might be in right now. I had a website. I had a business. It was in the fitness industry. I had a website, and it was beautiful, and I was very excited, and it went live, and then I sat there and I waited for the calls to come in, and nothing happened at all. And so I tweaked a few things, and I was like, oh, okay, great. Those changes will totally make the difference. And I waited, and nothing, no calls, no emails, nothing. I've learned a lot from, 15 years ago to now, like things like, well, I have to send traffic to my website. There's got to be free offers, and there's got to be all this, there's stuff that goes involved. There's stuff that you have to do. But one of the things is in telling that story on the About page, I was able to show that I know what it's like to be in that position, to not really know what's going on. And then I told the story of how I learned and how I started teaching other people how to do this, and then how I started speaking at events across the globe about this particular topic, and success stories, and I share about my personal life, and all of these things all go into this page that I call My Story. And it's usually one of the last pages that people will look at on your website. So the first that they're usually going to see is your home page, and then they're going to click around to your free offer page because they want to know what they can get for free. And then they're going to look at the results that you get for people, or they'll look at the services, right? They want to know, well, how much is this going to cost? So they look at the services, then they might look at the results that you can get people. Then they'll usually click around a couple other miscellaneous pages, but eventually they're going to land on your About page or your My Story page. And again, most of the time this is, it reads as a resume. And so it's just kind of a trash page. If it doesn't connect with the website visitor, it doesn't serve a purpose in being there. It's just filler. And we don't want filler on your website. We want every page on your website to have a specific purpose, and we need it to achieve whatever that purpose is. So when they look at your about page, they are really looking to learn more about you as the person. They're looking to connect on a deeper level with you as the service provider. So this is really your opportunity to give them a deeper look into who you are, why you started this business, why it matters to you, what your personal story is, what that connection is. So that is why the About page is one of the most overlooked but most important pages on your site. And the thing that you want to keep in mind is use first person. So use I, my, use that kind of a language, not this third person like Lynn Coffey, blah, 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 or we. A lot of times I see people who it's just them in the business. They use words like we, we care about our clients, who's we, it's just you're the main service provider. So use first person language, use real images. People don't really connect to like professional photo shoot images. They don't really connect to stock images. So use real life images. If you look at my website, lynncoffey.com, you can click on the page that says my story, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because I do, I kind of do what I talk about here. So you'll see all those real life images. Use bullet points to break up the text, but the most important thing is to tell the story that is of interest to your website visitors. So I tell the story about how I got my website to get more leads for my business, because that's what people are interested in. I don't tell them about the time I almost died hiking in Australia, even though it's a really good story. I don't tell them about my high school basketball glory days. I tell them what they're interested in. If you are a fitness studio and maybe you are the owner and you have a personal history of you lost 100 pounds and kept it off, tell that story, but don't just give the dates and the facts. Use the emotion. Bring out that emotion. What was it like for you waking up in the morning? Were your bones creaky? Did your joints hurt? What were the thoughts in your mind? Were you just frustrated with yourself, because last night, you did good all day eating and you were active, you did everything right, and then around 9 o'clock at night, you just binged on something, M&Ms or something, and how disappointed you were with yourself. You see, using that storytelling vibe, using the storytelling way of creating copy is important, because it connects people. It's like they're reading a book that they can identify with. It's like they're reading their own journal, if you will. So when you can use emotions and tell it in a way that it connects to your website visitors, you will be enhancing that know, like, and trust factor. So if you have not seen other videos that I've done, you have to know that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And your front end website has the ability to create that know, like, and trust factor, even though you've never met the person who's visiting your site. So said another way, through the copy and the images and the video and the way that you tell the story to your website visitors, you have a way of connecting with them. You can make them feel like they know you, feel like they know your story, your journey. And through that process, they start to trust you, they start to like you, they start to see the results that you can get for people. And it opens them up to the services that you have to help them with their problem. So your About page is one of the most important pages on the site. Don't overlook it. Don't look at it as just a resume site or a place to put your certifications. Really dig into it. It is probably one of the hardest pages of copy for people to write, because you're having to write your own story. So don't worry about that. Just take a step back and really think of, what is the story that I can tell that my website visitors want to know about? What's that thing that can connect me to them? And then really dig deep on that emotional standpoint. It's the stuff that it really matters when creating that connection. Okay, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications of future videos that I put out. And if you're watching this video somewhere else, like it, comment on it, subscribe, share, do whatever it is that you want to do. And as always, if you have questions about anything at all, please reach out and let me know. Okay, bye-bye.